everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm Laura and today's video is going to be my son Josiah's 10-month update. 10 months, like almost a year old, 10 months. Okay, how did that happen? Normally I film these videos over in our living room on the couch where it's like nice and cozy, but like I feel like my downstairs is like a hot mess. We were doing a bunch of house projects yesterday, and just like I feel like this right here is the only like corner of my house that's not just a cluttered mess, and I can like actually focus and breathe here. So we're gonna do it here. It's also freezing in my house right now because it's just freezing here where we live. It's so cold the last couple of days that like even our heat can't keep up with how cold it is. So it's chilly down here, which is why I'm a little underdressed for the occasion. So at 10 months, Josiah is weighing in at 21.5 pounds. So he's up like a pound from last month. Still feel like he should be gaining more from month to month. I feel like his gains have kind of been slow, maybe the last 2 months or so, just because he's eating more, but it just hasn't been the case. And so I don't know. He has a doctor's appointment actually tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow if his doctor is like happy with that growth or if she recommends us doing something else. I really have no idea like where he should be. I feel like he's fine. But I just feel like previously he was gaining a lot more weight from month to month. For his length, I didn't measure a change from last month to this month. I said he was just under 28 inches. He was like 27 like point something, and that's kind of what I was seeing this time as well, although it was a lot harder to measure him this time because he just like doesn't really stay still. Very hard to get him to stay still, and obviously at the doctors they have like you put them down and then I can kind of hold him while they kind of do the measurements, so it's a little bit easier. I just have like a flexible like soft tape measure, which is what I try to use. So again, he's got his doctor's appointment tomorrow. So if it's different than what I'm telling you right now and as I'm filming this, I will put it on the screen as to how long he actually is this month. So for diapers, he's still wearing a size 4. I said last month they're like a little bit big on him, but it gives him kind of more room that he needs in the diaper. I feel like he's fitting in them a little bit better now, but still has plenty of room, so I don't foresee us kind of going up the next size in those yet. Still liking the Huggies, like little movers. He's doing really well with those, so I haven't made any changes there. So for clothing also, like nothing has really changed. He's still doing 9 to 12 month things. There are certain brands that he is like in 12-month stuff. Actually, we're gonna take a trip today to pick him up a couple of 12-month pajamas, just because he does still have 9-month ones, like 9 to 12-month ones that fit him perfectly and that he has room in, but then he also has ones that are just very snug, and so I just want to have some more options for him. So we're gonna make a trip today and hopefully pick up some more for him. For food, again, not much else has changed. He still takes a 7 or 8 ounce bottle depending on the time of day and depending on like when he had his last bottle. Like if it's kind of 2 feedings are kind of close together, I'll go with a 7 ounce bottle. If we've kind of stretched him, we were busy running errands, something like that, and it's been a while, I'll give him an 8 ounce bottle. For like solid foods, we still are doing purees with him, but he is eating like more solid foods now as well. I actually did last week, I filmed a what my baby eats in a day video that should be up on the channel already, so I'll link that up top if you're curious. But he eats all kinds of things. Like he'll eat chicken if you cut it up really small. He likes ground beef, ground turkey, stuff like that. He loves cut up like grape tomatoes, loves a cut up grape tomato. At this point, he's eating like a lot of just like foods that I would make in general for like Mike and I mean, sometimes I do make dinners that are like not necessarily baby friendly, in which case like hopefully I have some leftovers of something that I can give him. If not, I honestly don't like fret that much about it. I'll just pull a jar out of the cabinet and give him like a sweet potato puree or something like that, and then give him a little bit of like cut up cheese or cut up tomatoes or something that he can kind of feed himself, because obviously at this point it is really important for him to start developing the skills to feed himself. He's doing, his pincer grasp is really good. He's doing really well with the pincer grasp. We are starting to let him hold his own utensils. I know some people do that a lot earlier. It's not that he couldn't, it's just honestly like the mess, guys, the mess. When we let him feed himself like a puree, like if I puree sweet potatoes or butternut squash and like we're having that, I'll let him do his own spoon. The cleanup after that situation is just it has to be like a day where we have the energy, to be totally honest with you. Because honestly, at the end of the day, after dinner, Mike and I are exhausted. So if it's already a bath night, then fine, whatever. He's going in the tub anyway. But if it's not a bath night, I'm not about trying to clean up that mess. So I will just feed him myself, and we will work on the spoon holding and fork holding a little bit later on. But he is doing really well when we do let him do it. You know, you just put a bunch on there and he just kind of like noms on it. Honestly, I think it just feels good for his gums. So far, no allergic reactions. We do PB2 with him. Sometimes I'll mix it into his oatmeal in the morning, or I'll put it on. He loves carbs. He loves bread. He loves like a waffle. He loves a piece of toast. So like stuff like that, I'll give him as like a side in the morning, and I'll put a little bit of like PB2 on it, and no problems with that. He's had strawberries, no problems, eggs, no problems. So very fortunate in that sense. I haven't found anything yet. You guys have been following along. You guys know that with sleep, we have been very, very fortunate with Josiah. He started sleeping through the night on his own very early. We didn't really have to do any sleep training. That's just kind of always how he's been. And even as like a newborn baby, he didn't wake up every 3 hours to eat. We would get 4-hour stretches of sleep in between feedings in the middle of the night. So we've kind of always lucked out. And he's still sleeping through the night really well. He goes down at around 7 o'clock. Sometimes we can stretch that. He's a pretty flexible kid. And he's up at around, honestly, anywhere between 6 and 7 in the morning. And sometimes he wakes up in his crib and he just kind of hangs out in there. He'll play and he'll talk to himself. But he doesn't bother to like cry or like try to call you or anything like that. Like he just hangs out in there. So I have a feeling by the time I get up to give him a bottle at 7 o'clock, he's probably already been awake for like an hour, just like chilling, talking to his giraffe pacifier, like hanging out. So where we have struggled with him for a very long time has kind of been napping throughout the day. He's not the biggest fan of napping. When he goes through a leap, it's usually pretty bad. Like he'll only sleep for 20 to 30 minutes at a time. And he'll only take 2 naps a day. So that's kind of hard. But when he's not in a leap, he's decent with his naps. I mean, sometimes they're longer than others. Sometimes he'll only give you a 20-minute nap in the morning, but his second nap of the day will be an hour and 40 minutes, which is fine. Sometimes he'll give you a long nap in the morning and a shorter nap in the afternoon. It really just depends on his mood. I don't really put too much stock into nap time anymore. Like I don't really think like, okay, I'm putting him down, that means I have at least an hour. Like I'm like, nah, let me just do what I can do in the time that he sleeps. Like I really have no expectation. But there are times throughout the day that like I will try. I'll be like, okay, this is around the time you get tired, we take a nap now. But it's kind of a window, right? Like I don't say like, oh, it's 10 o'clock, it's time for him to go down. Like at 10 o'clock, if he doesn't seem like he wants to go down, we wait until 11. Like it's honestly, I leave it up to him. And honestly, I think that helped make for a really flexible baby, which he is. He's incredibly, incredibly flexible, which makes things a lot easier for Mike and I. And I know that not every baby can do that. There are some babies you literally need to have on a very tight schedule because it's what they need. Now for development, the fun stuff. If you guys are regular viewers here, you probably saw a vlog back in December, like before Christmas, where Josiah took his first step. It was just 1 step and then he fell. A couple days later, he took 4 steps. Then he was kind of stuck at 4 steps. Then he worked his way up to 8, but couldn't really get past 8 for a couple days. And now Josiah is everywhere. Josiah can walk from one end of the living room clear into the kitchen, like without falling. He looks like a little drunk deer. But he does it. He manages. He learned how to like stop, bend, and pick something up. It's really not, it's a bend, it's a squat, but he stops, squats, picks something up, stands back up, walks. He can stop and kind of pivot and turn his direction if he wants to. He does still fall, but previously what would happen when he was kind of learning in the very beginning, he would take a step or 2 and then fall and then go like, why am I even trying to do this? I can get where I want to go much faster if I crawl. And he would crawl. And then like one day I watched him go and he fell and he just stood back up. It was the first time that he had tried to walk, failed, and then stood back up instead of just crawling. And I was like, uh-oh, like he's getting determined. Like I think he's figured out that once he gets the hang of this, he can be even more fast and efficient in just like getting into nonsense, which is like his favorite thing to do. So actually he's awake now. I can hear him talking in his bedroom. So yeah, he's walking everywhere. He is into absolutely everything. He's very curious. I don't want to say that he's stubborn because I feel like that's negative. He is a very strong-willed child, if you will, and he's very persistent. So once he gets his mind on something, like that's it. That's what he's doing. Good luck if you'd like to stop him. Guys, I have to tell you, as crazy as it is now that he's everywhere and as much as like we have to have eyes on him literally at all times, it's been incredible seeing him grow and just like learn how to do this. I've never been more proud of my life. It's probably the coolest part of being a parent, and this stage is probably my favorite part. As much as I like miss him being a tiny little like snuggly baby, and I miss like that newborn stage, and like, oh, I can't wait to experience that again. This is so much fun. It's so much fun watching this part. For teeth, I don't think I even mentioned this in the last video, but Josiah is literally 10 months old and has not a single tooth, like not even a partial tooth. I don't even see anything cutting through either of those gums. He is just Toothless Joe, and I don't know. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna talk to the doctor about it tomorrow. I know that it's normal that some kids are a little bit slower to get their teeth in. It doesn't slow him down when it comes to food. He's still over here, you know, munching on pasta and stuff. Like it doesn't really slow him down. I don't give him anything hard, like too hard. I try to give him soft things that his gums can numb down. As far as like play goes, in the last, I would say 2 months, Josiah has really kind of taken up an interest in like actual toys. Before he'll play with a rattle. He would kind of sit there and shake it. But now I'm seeing him like pick up cars and trucks in his playpen and go back and forth with them, which I feel like is him kind of like learning the mechanics of it and like what it actually does and what he's supposed to do with it. I've never really showed him that. One day I just kind of looked over and caught him doing it. And now like we'll sit on the floor and I'll push a car to him and he'll kind of push it back. It's not the smoothest glide. It's kind of haphazardly, but you know, we're gonna get there. He's starting to kind of get a hang of toys and what he does with them and how to play, essentially. I try not to get super involved. I kind of try to sit back and just like let him figure out what he wants to do, how he wants to play, because I think it's kind of important for him to do that and also to help kind of develop like imagination and things like that. I don't want to just like show him how to play because there's no like right or wrong way to play, right? So I kind of just step back and let him do it, and sometimes I'll follow along with what he does. I'll be like, oh, that's what we do with that, okay, like that's what we'll do with that. And oh, so another thing I should probably talk about developmentally, and I cannot recall, and I'm sorry if I've ever mentioned this in a video before. I think I did. I think I said like back in like his 8-month update, nobody tells you that 8-month-olds tantrum. They only talk about toddlers tantruming. They don't talk to you about infants tantruming, and Josiah tantrums. And before they happened, but they were brief. Now they happen and they span, okay? He carries that out. Probably not as long as like a toddler. He's not as bad as like a 2-year-old, but he definitely tantrums. If you take something away from him, a phone, a remote, or you tell him he can't have something, I think he's starting to understand the word no, and when he hears it, and when he hears it in a specific tone especially, he is like, absolutely not. You're not gonna speak to me like that, Mom, Dad, get out of here. And he loses it, and he literally will cry, throw himself on the ground, and just like cry, hoping that you're going to give him whatever he wants. We try our very hardest not to give into it, because we don't want to set that precedent this early, especially. But like sometimes, you guys know, when you're tired and you got no more fight left in you as a parent, you're just like, here, just take it, just take the phone. So yeah, we are tantruming, and sometimes he does cop a little bit of a toot with you when he's not happy with what you're saying or doing or not doing for him. So again, all part of his personality, and it's kind of funny, but I have a feeling that like our very kind of mild-mannered infant is going to be a pretty sassy toddler, but time will tell. We will see. As far as likes go, I go back and forth with whether I want to do likes and dislikes in these videos, because sometimes I honestly have a very hard time just thinking of them from month to month. But an obvious like that I have this month is me. Hi, hello, how are you? We're in a mom season, guys, and I am here for it because I've always been told, you know, the bond between mothers and sons, nobody loves you like your son does. It's so cute. It's so... Fam, for a while, my son, he's fine with me. He loves me. I know he loves me. I don't ever question that. But like, as soon as Mike would come home, he would be like, peace out, mom, dad's here. And I'd be like, are you kidding me? I feed you and plan out all your meals. I change like 90% of your diapers. Like, I do bath time. I play with you all the time. Honestly, I think what it is like, Mike is he's a rare commodity because I am home with him all day long. And so Mike isn't. So when it's like Mike comes home, it's like, yay, daddy's home for like a fun, you know, 2 to 3 hours before I have to go down for bed. Like, he just wanted to be with Mike and just, I guess, soak up as much of that time as he could. So I can't really be too mad at that, but like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit salty. But right now we are in a mama season and he just wants mama. And when he gets hurt, if he falls down, if he's upset, he comes walking over crying and he grabs me, or he's constantly walking to me. Even when Mike comes home, he's like, hi, he says hi to daddy, and then he waddles into the kitchen to like grab onto my leg while I cook. So like, everything is mama right now. And yes, there are times when that is very difficult, but like, I'm super here for it. And dislikes, like I said before, like literally being told no. Does not take the word no very kindly. He does not like it. And I guess lastly, for my motherhood journey, I don't know, everything's kind of status quo. I've been feeling really good about where I am as a mom. I feel like I am at a point where I have a handle on things. I don't feel super overwhelmed by being a mom. I mean, sometimes I feel a little overwhelmed by all of the things that I have on my plate, primarily work. Like I've talked about on here many of times, I've gotten much better about balancing and finding ways to kind of help aid in the struggles that I've been having, but I just find it honestly really, really challenging to be a working parent. I'm so fortunate to obviously have a job at a time where so many people are losing their jobs, and I'm very, very grateful to have honestly been able to work from home during the pandemic and be here with him because I've been able to just see everything, which is so amazing. But I mean, the downside to that is just that I just want to hang out with my son all the time. Like, I don't want to really log in and answer emails and work on projects. Like, I just want to hang out with my kid all day and just like soak up everything. And I feel like sometimes it's hard, especially because like I've said before, like he doesn't understand that like I have to work. So he just sees me on the computer and is like, why aren't we playing? Like, put that down, let's do something. You know, I can just tell that he wants my attention and I can't always give it. And obviously when I'm working on, you know, a 3,000 line spreadsheet and he comes over and smacks my keyboard and like deletes 5 of the lines, I'm just like, oh my gosh. And like, I get frustrated, and I hate feeling frustrated with him, and frustrated with the situations that kind of we're in sometimes. That's just life, and this is a season. And I have to remind myself of that a lot in life. Sometimes when things aren't ideal or they're like not the greatest, I just have to be like, this is a season though, Lorianne. Like, this is not going to be forever, and it'll be gone. And someday you're gonna look back on it and you're gonna have different thoughts. And so let's just get through it. But other than that, I do feel just really good about where I am in my motherhood journey and like where I am as a mom. I feel comfortable. A lot of the other moms that I know in my life, I feel like I've taken parts from some people and other parts from others, and that I've seen that I like, oh, I love that, you know, my friend who's a mom does XYZ, and like I try to implement that and other things. And I feel like that's kind of helped me just kind of blend all of those things into just being myself and the kind of mom that I am. And really a lot of that is like the kind of mom that Josiah needs. Like, I can be as much of the mom that I want to be, but ultimately, you know, I'm his mom, so I need to be the mom that he needs. And I guess I won't ever know at this point if I am or not, because he can't tell me. He'll tell me one day, but I mean, I feel like I am. I feel like the love that my son shows, I feel like the joy that I see in his face when he's doing his thing and how happy he is. And I just feel like that tells me that like he's good. He's well adjusted. He's doing well, and that's literally all I could ask for. So I'm feeling good, and I approach everything in motherhood honestly with such a grateful heart after everything that we've been through to get to this point. There are times where like he just does little things and I just like, my eyes literally well up with tears. Since Josiah's awake, I'm actually gonna go grab him so that you guys can like take a look at him, because I feel like I've never filmed one of these videos where he did not make an appearance in a video that's basically about him and his growth. So I'm gonna go grab him real quick. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend. No? Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Hi everyone. You don't want to do your party trick? I put him in these pajamas because it's so cold that these are like so warm and like soft, but like he outgrew them. And I think he's probably only worn them once. We don't usually put him in fleecies at night because upstairs, because upstairs in our house, it's very, very warm. Downstairs is always cold, upstairs is always really, really hot. So we always put him in cotton pajamas because it is like insanely warm up there. But today it's chilly everywhere. So we put him in these, but they don't fit him. He's like busting out the bottom over here. Can you clap? Yay. Yay for Josiah. Can you do it, or are you too shy? You'll bang on the table? Yay! Yay! You're such a big boy now. I can't believe that we have to like plan your first birthday party. That's insane. We are gonna have a first birthday party for him. His birthday is March 4th. So I always film these a little bit later in the months. Obviously, he turns 10 months at the beginning of the month, and I don't usually film these videos until towards the end of the month. Basically, almost 11 months at this point, and we are really probably behind on planning his party, but what we've decided to do because of COVID and like everything that's been going on, like I'm really adamant that like we've had to miss so many different celebrations for him, that I'm like adamant that like we're not missing his first birthday. Like we are not doing something big for his first birthday. So because his birthday is still in the winter and it's still just like too cold to do anything outside here in New Jersey, we're going to like, we'll celebrate his birthday as like a family on his actual birthday, or like the weekend after his actual birthday, but we're going to do a bigger party for him like the first or second week of May. This way we can do something outdoors, and it can be safe, and we're gonna try to do something like tented or like out in like an opened kind of structure or something like that, so it can be outside, socially distanced, and you know, hopefully we can have some entertainment for some of the older kids that are going to be there, because you're the littlest. You're the littlest. I'm starting to kind of like look into that and plan that. Anyway, we hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Bye. Say bye. Never wants to do a party trick when there's any kind of audience.